Wow. Welcome to the Blacknificent show here on Galaxy. That's what we're talking about. Hold on. Just a second. Pause. There you go. Stop the countdown. Let's get on with the program. This rising, yeah. Welcome once again to the Blacknificent radio show here on the Galaxy of the We.net with your host this rising here, Brother Aston. That's myself, and anticipation of the arrival of our co-host, Sister Sandra, as well. Yeah. All right, boy. Over the last 7 days, no. Let's see if I can recount. Recounting over the last 7 days. Personal task that I did set for myself to meet 2 new people every day. And yes, it's been very interesting because there are certain people out there that really need to hear that they wanted, that we can hear them. Disconnected as many have been, even though they live in a city environment, surrounded by people continuously, but they are in a state of, hold on, sorry. When they are connected but disconnected. And the thing is that maybe it's a case of that we are in a place of where we have everything so ready available for us, that we don't really pay attention to all those that are not receiving, needing, those who are who are needy at this time. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right here, right now, first thing is, and it affected, it did affect me still, you know. There's a brother. Oops, daisy. There's a brother. Hold on, family. Let me just balance this volume out inside this. Right. Yes, there's a brother, and he is struggling. He lives local. He lives local, and he is struggling. When I say severe disabilities, I mean extreme severe disabilities. In fact, he's not in a wheelchair, but you know that if he was, it would probably be of aid to him, you know. And obviously, he's looking in a disheveled state as well. So, hear the cry now. Hear the cry. I'm out, and I'm doing the usual shopping, and I'm in one of the shop then. So he's come inside. He's in the side the shop there, and you can see that the staff is very apprehensive about this person who's coming to the shop, right? For obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. And then, obviously, they made him feel say he's not wanted inside there, and it hurt me. It hurt me because no matter what or where that a man can be or woman can be, because I've seen women in the same similar situations there, so right in the same vicinity there, that they could just want just a little help, just a little help, and they were trying to usher him out the door now. So I brought to his attention. I asked him, "What is it that you want?" And the man just rubbed two coin in a hand. I said, all right. So I take a piece of paper and I put it in a man. And then he turned around and he walked off. Or, well, stumbled off. Now, let me tell you something right here, right now. Nobody, I don't care who, what, where, nobody should be in your presence and be in need. Let's just take this time. Let's just take a piece of time, my people. And it's not that we're searching for them and looking every corner for them or anything like this, because these people will just turn up. And it could be just the person that you're sitting next to on the bus or walking down the road with, right? There's a lot of young people who are lonely and destitute, even right now, right? I've seen a lot of young people, teenagers that are out and about, and they are literally just ambling from one corner to the next corner, right? Now I don't know if they're parents or they have chosen to be out like that, but unfortunately there are no places or very few places for them to go. And it's not even to go, it's to feel safe. Because we know how some of these lechers and parasites are out on the road, let alone the police them who put them under pressure right now. Right? And I'm talking about the schoolers, those of school age, right? So let's just be have our eyes out for them, those in need right now, because we are, we are our brother and sisters keepers. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I see it. I see it so many times. See it so many times, right? And I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you now. If one person steps up and show that helping hand, you'll be surprised how many others would be willing to do this as well. You'll be surprised how many others would be able to do this as well. And they'd be willing to do this. But it does take that one step forward. So let's make a change. Let's make a change right now. Right? Point number two that I want to bring to our attentions as well. We have to step up and start being pressurizing our local representatives. We have to step up and demand certain practices to cease right now. We can see that there is a total breakdown of society values. And when I say breakdown of society values, I really do mean the values. Well, go on here, sir. Look like WR Press Bill. WR Press Bill. All right. And when I say values, values of life, values of life, they're taking it for granted, say, everybody wants to be a warmonger. They're taking it so that they're putting everybody in the category of warmongering, right? Of course. Now that it start lick them in at the back foot, they're bringing it to say, oh, we need to come together now. Oh, we can't be treating each other like that. You've been treating us like this for all our lives, yeah, and more, and generations. Now that it start to land upon your foot bottom, you want to ease off the pressure. Eh? This is why I'm glad. I'm glad what is happening. I'm in many ways I'm glad what is happening. Right? Not in the sense of that people are getting under pressure or anything like that, but it's just showing their true values and who is backing it up. Who's backing them things up? Right? There ain't no standing on the fence this time. It's either you're in it or you're not. And I want you to take note. I'm not a football fan in them ways there. But I did catch some of this woman football team the other day. Only about 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes. Right? And I'm gonna tell you something. The commentary, the commentary, and then the behavior of the players, right? There are in the England team. There's two main black players in there, and I'm looking on their face. I'm looking at their faces, and even the way that they're playing, and you can see that there is a undertone of I don't want to be here, but I'm going to do this. Yeah, there's that undertone of something is wrong. Something is wrong, yes, sir. Right? But anyhow, good luck to them who's playing out there. And the reason why I mention this now, why code switching. We know what code switching is. The person you are in school, in work, is different to the person you are when you walk through your door, right? And it's different to the person who is talking to the neighbor to the person who you are talking with your family. Even here, so I have to cool myself down time. I have to cool myself down sometimes, but I can ease off the chair a little piece when time comes. Code switching. Let me please, and I know that it can be a reactive thing to what's happening to us left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. I want us to be aware of that, right? This is the same code. It's the same code, right? If you want to join or can join, right? So if you come across yourself in that dynamic, just take a breath. Take a breath. Recenter yourself. Recenter yourself. Place your values on top of what you are presented with. Because I'm going to tell you, everywhere in a London right now, everybody are fight against what's happening in Palestine, right? As terrible as it is, right? What are people? That's it. I'm putting together the other piece that I need to do at the same time. As terrible as it is over there, you have to go and watch these other channels, right? That does tell you the other side of the story. But remember, please remember as well, as you're watching those other channels, just like how you would have the suspicion of the propaganda that is being said here to us, right? To oil the wheels of the industry. It's the same thing that is happening over there. Same thing. I hear some things, man. I hear some things when I'm listening to these people, you know, and I'm thinking, are they sure? Are they sure that they are they are reporting the same news that I am seeing right here in front of my eyes? Are they sure they want to say them things there? Hmm? But obviously, they don't really hold themselves accountable for anything right now. And they're still continuing. What did I hear the report the other day? 80, 83%, 83% of the nation in that region there are saying, stop the war, stop the atrocities, what's going on. This is what they're saying. But yet, the others are saying, no, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with this. I don't hear nobody saying about the other regions of the continent. I don't hear nothing. They're still trying to murder the young liberation leader out there. They're still trying to unalive him, which is which is an atrocity in itself. I cannot believe this. Grand risings, my brother. Grand risings. Come true, my man. Come true.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
I'm just going to interrupt you for a little while, short, brief conversation.
Yes, sir.
Just pick up a few points. First thing I want to say is like
Mm,
to all the listeners out there and yourself and the presenters, management, everybody. Like this is just a brief like
yeah, come with it. Come with it,
what I
man.
want to say. The first thing, just a little quick story. I met this brother I knew here, not close, but I used to meet him sometime we have a little word. But I realized that he didn't really want to talk much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a man that when you see him, you just say hi and bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you leave them to it. You know, what I mean, when you see a person who want to talk, just you know, just say hi and just move on. But it was kind of funny. He was a funny kind of brother. Like in other words, you don't really want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to just like, all right, hi. And one time I see when he just like branch off to another direction. So okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And like and I thought it was the only one, but
Oh, you think he only treat you like that?
yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
the only one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then when I shanked to somebody else, they said, "Oh no, he's gone with." I said, "Okay, fair enough." But anyway, I saw him about a month ago, probably about 6 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and something said to me, "Just cross the road, man. Don't bother saying nothing to him. Just cross the road."
Yeah.
And then, but I carried on walking,
Uh-huh.
and I looked at him. I said, "All right, man." And he said, and he's smiling, nodded his head,
Mm.
and I went on forward, and he walked in opposite direction.
Mm.
And then I met a brother. I thought like about a week after that. I'm sure it's a week. And we was chatting, and he mentioned the brother.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's dead, you know. I said,
Oh, wow.
no. What, my man? And
Yeah.
I saw him like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, he's dead. I said, no, man. I saw him a few days. He said, no, trust me, he's dead.
Wow.
I said, what? And then and another brother confirmed it.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm saying sometimes
You just don't know.
we've gone with little foolishness like to try and talk to that brother.
I know. Listen, this is it. Right. You see what you just said there?
Yeah.
This is why I don't know if you've been listening to me over the past couple of months, right? That is exactly the reason why. Because imagine now, you could see a person, right? You could pass each other, right? But you've never had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say take the little 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right? Just to even acknowledge, acknowledge each other. You know?
The person's alive, yeah.
You understand? Because I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you now, right? There's some people who are holding their last breaths right now because they are so lonely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen. And people, you see, the saddest thing about today is, yeah, people are, I would say people are so fake. They are so fake, and fake not even in a wicked way,
Mm,
but just not being themselves.
yeah.
Because you've got this, because I'll cycle most places, yeah.
Okay.
And when you're moving around, 'cause you're moving slower than a car and a bus, and you're
Hmm.
more observant
So
of
you can
people on the road.
see.
And you see so many people that's like got their cameras to their face and they're smiling the camera, they're taking their little selfies, and
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
upload it
yeah.
to the whole world and say, look at me, I
Mm,
see I look good, I'm in a nice place, and you
mm.
know. But deep down, like he's like when you go home, you're in your own little quarters.
Yeah.
You still got your stress, you still got your bills, you still got the news telling people are dying all over the world. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying?
mm.
So today, yeah, we're living in one of the most fictional, fake societies ever created for
It's
man.
horrible. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. It's horrible.
You know, and the brother who I was speaking to, told me that he had an illness. You know, that he said to me that he
Okay.
should. The doctors told him that he should have been in hospital.
Mm,
Yeah, so they could like look after him, but he refused. He refused to. And probably maybe the reason why he was acting so funny,
mm.
yeah, maybe that same
That could
illness
be.
was on him. He didn't really want to talk to certain people,
Mm.
you know. Because like sometimes you just hold certain things to yourself.
Look how much people you just say. You're just saying now as you're saying that. How many people you know just dead all of a sudden, but you just don't know how this person just gets sick and dead so.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they be holding on to an ailment, a
Mm-hmm.
disease for a long, long time.
For real,
Yeah,
for real.
right? You
And,
think
and,
you
and
think
that,
you
that
think
said,
most
but I did give him my number, you know. I gave him my
okay.
number 'cause I told him, say, well, we could do something. It's a few years ago. I told him to come link up when we do
Mm,
certain things,
mm.
you know.
Well,
And
at least you
he decided
gave him
not
the
to.
opportunity.
He never to call me.
No, no,
So
but
that's why I feel so he's just a man who just he want to do his own thing. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
a person want to do their own thing, you leave them,
yeah, yeah,
let them do
yeah,
their own thing,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And the thing is that so many of us, like, we're not going to live forever.
Nope,
Yeah.
nobody.
So why can't we contribute a little bit of
Humanity.
ourselves to the movement?
That's right.
You know, look,
Humanity,
I'm not
humility.
perfect, you know. Don't think because I'm
Neither
calling
am
up and
I. Neither am I, King
talking,
man. Neither am I.
you see what I'm saying? You know, probably like 1% committed and 99% uncommitted.
Well,
You know, but at
mm.
least that 1%. There's a brother, what's his name? Jamal. I think it's Jamal. I'm kind of jumping all over
Oh,
the place.
the
I think it's
actor,
Jamal
the
from
actor.
from from the Cosby Show.
Yeah, yeah, the young brother there. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought he died of natural causes, but there's causes, but they said he was like swimming in some
Yes, I.
ocean or something,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
It's
he
similar.
drowned.
It's similar to how my father passed as well
Okay,
in that
okay,
way because
okay.
he was swimming and the
Hmm.
undercurrents took him. But when they did the autopsy, they said that it was a heart attack because I
Mm-hmm.
know he's a strong swimmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or he was a strong swimmer, so
Hmm.
I know said something else must have been in part, and they said yeah, his heart gave out on him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hmm.
that could be through the struggling.
Nature don't nature
Mm.
nature don't have no respect for nothing, you know.
Well, look, when your time come,
True,
yeah.
true. But the reason why I mentioned Jamali, I don't know what he was doing
Mm,
in for any kind of movement.
mm,
But I'm saying because I see him as a very silent man. He just went into the background.
mm, mm,
You know,
mm.
I never really saw him on TV or doing interviews and
No,
stuff.
no, he was very active
Okay,
as an
okay, 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 okay.
activist. You know, he was a very
Okay.
active in that
All
way.
right.
I
Okay.
think I think
I
what
can
happens,
definitely update that.
like that group of actors and that genre of acting of programs that they've been working in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are kind of drawn towards the the oh gosh, one of the words I'm looking for now. They're drawn towards that activation, that group of people who are activists over
Mm-hmm. Okay.
there,
Okay. Okay.
right? Whether it be through art, um, whether it be through academia or whatever, So they're all in that little circle in that
All
way
right.
there, and
Okay.
he was very much at the forefront of that as well. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's good to hear because like I say, sometimes
mm,
what I'm realizing now when you try to search for things on YouTube,
mm.
there's such a mad clutter
Oh
of
yeah.
madness.
Listen,
So
you're
much
being
madness. I'm
distracted.
trying to search. I was searching for his stuff and he
Mm,
had like a little podcast and stuff and was
mm,
talking.
mm. No,
But
no.
I think YouTube's becoming worse.
No,
You
no.
know.
What happened is that they've turned on their algorithms that you will get 20 different things not related to your
Yeah.
search pattern
Because
in any way whatsoever.
even today, like present times, if you type in something like
Mm,
mathematics,
mm,
it might give you like 10 subjects related to mathematics. When you
mm.
keep on scrolling down, it's just giving you mad stuff. And I'm saying, like, hold on,
Yeah,
that's not what I requested.
yeah.
I requested that topic, and it should give me that topic.
No, no.
Why am I getting all this mad stuff and to divert me in other directions? You know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm, mm,
You
mm.
know.
Well,
But yeah, what I really called up to talk about was just briefly because I should have researched her name, but I can't remember the young lady that was playing for the English female football team.
you see, I just mentioned that,
Yeah, that's what sparked me to call up. And even also
So she's from Ghana.
um
She's both Ghanaian born, young woman.
okay,
Yeah.
and
The
another sportsman the was it the boys,
the boy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
He's a,
boxer, and I
yeah.
watched the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the fight, and then when I was watching the fight, within the first round, I'm watching this fight, and I hear a massive crowd. Ooh, sick, ooh, sick, ooh, sick. I said, whoa, this
Mm-hmm.
brother got like holy for support.
No. You know what that's about.
I never hear them shouting out the boys.
No. You know what that's about. You know what's that about, brother.
I'm asking myself, hold on there, is what? Because this is in England, you know.
Yes, I know.
The fight was in England.
I know. I know.
So how come I'm hearing beer man shouting out, ooh, sick, ooh, sick, ooh, sick? I said, hold on there. So what happened to the so-called Englishman that you should be supporting?
Why do you think everybody was waiting for Anthony to get his ass bust? Huh? You never hear them type of support behind Anthony,
Never,
right?
never.
So do you think they're going to be supporting the other one who come and take up now?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you've seen any of the critics come out of the woodwork, tearing the boys apart, man.
Yeah.
Tearing them apart.
Hold on. Really?
Well, true, tearing
Yeah.
them apart, man. And the thing is, and it's weird because Bruno, even though I see him as a simpleton, I still respect Bruno. Yeah, but I see him as a simpleton, man, a simple man, not being like degrading to him, but he's just like an
Mm,
ordinary man, just like
mhm,
and that just a common man is like the way he expresses himself is like in a very simple way. There's nothing wrong with that. But
mhm,
that's how I see him. And then I saw him chatting sitting next to standing next to the boys in the ring. And he
mhm.
was talking, oh yeah, he's a very strong man, he's a very
Yeah, yeah,
strong
yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah.
He's got a strong punch. And I was wondering why is the boy standing next to Bruno?
Mhm.
It was just a funny interview.
Well,
And
let's
but
let's
then
say let's
another
say.
clip of Bruno was saying Bruno was saying he don't think he's gonna win. I'm saying like hold on, in one clip
Mhm,
you're standing next to the brother saying, he's got a strong punch.
mhm.
And Bruno was saying, oh, he's a bit shy, he's a bit reluctant to talk. But I said, you're standing next to the man. Why are you telling him saying the
Mm.
interviews, the whole world that the man's shy and reluctant to talk? You're meant to be boosting his confidence.
Yeah, but then
And
again,
then, when you're away from him now,
we know
you're saying, oh, he might lose.
Bruno don't really. He's not too diplomatic with his ways of how he speak anyhow. So we
Yeah,
know that already,
yeah.
right?
But I tell you something though. There's a brother out there. Yeah. There's a few of them out there.
Mm,
I can't remember their name. One in particular is Chizori.
mm,
Chizori, yeah. That brother is very uncontrollable. He's untamed.
Mm.
Yeah, he's unstructured, but he is a wild boxer. I think in England right now there's many of them, but
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, that is the strongest boxer that I've seen
Mm. Mm.
in years. But I just, he's just not ever listening to certain people, or he don't listen to people. But that's a strong man, and if he had the right management of people around him,
Yes.
he could be a top heavyweight boxer. He could beat Usyk.
Well,
Yeah.
watch her now. Watch her now. Right. All right. Then I'm going to talk a little piece about that. The reason why Frank Bruno never got his championship because he wasn't a killer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what. Sorry to interrupt you. That's what Chisori said about. But anyway, continue.
Mm. Right. To do that, to be one of those type of people there, right? You have to be a strategic art martial artist in them ways there, right? This is why, like Eubanks, he studied the art. He knew what he could do. You
Mm-hmm,
understand, right? Michael Watson, exactly the same, right?
mm-hmm,
He never said, I'm going to come and knock you out, but he knows that he has the ability. Yeah, you understand, right? Whereas Nigel Benn, he knew he could do it, right? But he knew that he would have to face it himself, and that was his fear. Yeah, right. So in them ways there, that sport there at that level is all or nothing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's all or nothing at that level. You understand, right? When you see the amateurs and things like that, this is why they cut the rounds down because they remember they used to be. I think it was 7 rounds before, right? So therefore they cut it down because they know, say, boy, you know, it can go too far,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. For
right?
that, for the amateurs, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. You understand? So, when we sort of like look at things like that in comparison to the professional, right? Even the different weights, I think the lighter weights are more dangerous than the heavyweights, to be honest, right? Because they take a lot more blows. They take a lot more
Mm-hmm.
blows than what the heavyweights do. Yeah. But boy, I tell you, it's still an interesting sport. I like it anyhow, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of
Definitely.
people don't.
I just feel like it's gone. It's just gone crazy. It's like the structure in the whole boxing game today. It's just like it's changes
Hmm.
like you know what I mean. I don't see the greats anymore. This man, I've got to take my hat off to this man. This man Usyk is a very strong man. A very strong man. He ain't a fluke, you know. He's not a fluke. Got to give him that, you know. But I just don't. Back in the day when I was growing up, as from my early teens into like 20s and so on, so I just there was greats. There were greats, man. Some of them didn't even win um top titles. But
Hmm.
Kirtland Langs and Honey, Holyfield, Honeygale. I
Hmm.
think that's the right his name. Lloyd Hannigan.
Hold on.
Remember that brother?
No, no, no. Go ahead, go ahead.
But yeah, but the certain brothers when we was growing up. Remember Kirtland Lang with the dreads?
Lanks,
There
yeah.
were brothers out there. Is it Dennis Andrews?
Andrews, yeah.
There was some, but these were like, and I'm talking about different weights. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even the European Irishman Barry McGuigan.
McGuigan, yeah, yeah.
You got to take your hat off to some of these men.
Listen, the
They will
man,
fight to the drop dead in the. I know it sounds crazy,
but
but
that's
they
what
will.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That the lighter weights, in my opinion, right,
Mhm.
are more dangerous than the heavyweights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. Because like the amount of blows that they take
Hmm.
as well.
So many. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
True.
you know what I mean. Right, and even if you look on it proportionally, they're getting some serious licks.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Because like it's as I say, it's a skill, but it's not everyone that everyone has the ability to ditch and dodge.
True. And because the thing is, it might be easy to even like give the punches, but
Mm.
to take the punches and
Oh
still
yeah, yeah,
hold
yeah,
stamina
yeah,
as
yeah.
well, still
That's part of
like
it too.
control your breathing, and your mind has to tell itself like
Yeah.
pace itself. You know what I mean? Because even when I look at the boys fight, he looked like he was punched out in the first round.
Well,
I saw him going back to
let me put it this way:
sorry,
you
yeah,
can't
the
go
boy.
and party
That's when,
the afternoon away and then come in half an hour before the fight,
yeah,
and then you're
that's right.
ready.
And you're not. I can understand if you had the strength of Tyson. Yeah, because that is a strong in his prime. He was a strong
Not
brother.
even those.
If you had that kind of energy, like, maybe
Not
you could
against,
have a little
not
get
against
together.
that man.
But he
Not
was
against that
Tyson.
boy. Not
You
against
didn't
that man.
preserve your energy, man.
Personally, if it was me, right, they should have penalized it and cancelled the fight if the man wasn't there like 3 hours before.
No, I think there's too. When you did that, there's too much money to be lost, man.
No, no, but the fact is that the man needed to be tested, prepare to actually go into the ring and everything. The
Yep,
man turned up less
yep,
than an hour before the fight.
yeah, man. But and there's rumors that saying how the dad said, I don't know if it's the dad, but one of them said that if you don't let the entourage in, there's no fight tonight.
What type of
There's about
foolishness
like
is
20
that?
to 30 man want to come in behind, come in the ring, come in the in into the
Well,
Wembley
that's
ring.
foolishness then, isn't it? That's
You
foolishness.
know, of course that's foolishness. Why are you bringing so many people in the first place? And the first thing you celebrate after. You
Mm,
don't celebrate before.
mm,
You celebrate after you get cool and calm.
mm,
Yeah, you play that little chess game. Yeah, you act cool. And then when you win, then you can have your party.
mm.
You go party with 24 hours. You know what I mean? Upload it to the whole world. But
All, all I,
they say it wasn't a long, it was just a gathering. But still,
mm,
you know what I mean? It's like the man should be relaxing and exciting and hyped up.
mm, mm,
You know, you hyped him up in some way.
mm,
But yeah,
mm.
like I said, from the first round, when he went back to his seat, I said, and he looked chubby.
Mm,
He had
mm,
like breasts, and I said, oh, and they're like, where was his training? If
mm.
you're not like in your 40s or
No,
50s.
he took. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Usyk is a phenomenon unto himself, right? And I think that even when he won, he was surprised. He was surprised. He was. I think that he went in there expecting a beating,
Mm.
right?
I thought he was gonna get beat up.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna get beat up.
Talking boxing, you know.
True, anything can happen for real. But I thought the strength I see the boys, look a man,
Uh,
he's gonna thump it. And I could say, why is he so tired within the second round? I saw
and
him grab
he's
into the
not even
ring, like,
moving out the
pumping
way.
hard.
He's not
I
even
said,
moving out the
What's
way.
wrong with this brother?
He's not
The
even
people so
moving.
heavy.
He's not even moving out the way.
Yeah, and there was one section where he had him in the corner,
Mm,
and then he backed off.
mm-hmm,
Usyk was bending over, like protecting himself, and like and my man had him in the corner, and then he backed away.
mm-hmm,
I'm like, what's wrong with this brother?
mm-hmm,
But what I'm saying is like the crowd kind of shocked me when I heard him shouting out Usyk
yeah,
loud,
yeah,
and so it wasn't that like just 20 man.
mm,
That's like about 1,000, 2,000 man. A lot of
mm,
people shouting out Usyk that they
mm,
wanted him to win.
of course,
You know,
of course.
and coming back to this young lady that was playing in the football team
Mm-hmm,
who isn't white.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, they said that she was subjected to a lot of abuse
yeah,
online abuse,
yeah,
like
yeah.
messages and stuff. And
That's why.
I'm
That's
saying,
why
come
I
on, man,
mentioned. That's why I mentioned. This is why I mentioned.
I'm over 50 in a brethren.
Yeah,
And I remember growing up and watching people like John Barnes and even people before John
yeah.
Barnes and they shouted out.
The
They
the
out.
bananas on the
Nigga,
pitch.
wog, throwing bananas,
Yeah.
throwing pennies after him. There's even a classic picture on the internet of where there's a banana on the floor and where John
Mm,
Barnes is kicking the ball.
mm-hmm,
You know,
mm,
it's not a classic picture, but it's a picture of
yeah,
a disgraceful picture, really.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and the abuse at them, and now we're in 2025. You still see, and it's not even a man anymore. You're abusing a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's right.
people like you're on another level, man. You're on a and to push that
And
aside,
yeah,
yeah, you even got you even got people. You got human beings begging for food, yeah,
yes, yes.
and they're starving these people. the babies, you know. Even like last week, I think they blew up about 12 children, 12 about some
Yeah.
babies and some children. They blew them up. Just
Mm-hmm.
blew them up. It blew them into the sky. I don't know. It's not a joke. I'm joking. Like I'm trying to make it like
No,
jokey point.
I do
They blew
recall
them
that.
into the sky.
I did come across that, right? They were going to get some kind of treatment, and then they you know, as they say, oh, these people are hiding behind them. That's their excuse, them type of things.
Madness.
Right.
And the funny thing is, yeah, even when we say, chat, it don't concern us. I saw a news clip where they had like like hundreds of men running towards this corrugated wall. Netted iron netted wall here, and the food was being distributed through that section. You could see like the camera lifted up, and you could see from like I'm not exaggerating, probably like about half a mile, or it's a quarter of a mile. There's loads of men just running towards this section.
Yeah.
And they all look dusty because there's a dust in it. And they all look dusty. And in the crowd, you see an African brother stand up there because they're all like confused. Like, where's the food? Where's the food? You see the African brother in that crowd.
Yeah.
So there's African people still in that country right now getting blown up or starving as well.
We're everywhere. Know? We're everywhere, man. We are everywhere. But obviously, they're not going to highlight that, are they? They're not going to highlight that. You understand?
But even though we address those things that's happening here, it just shows you, like you mentioned some time ago, that the same things are happening in Africa, but none of it's being shown. None of it's being shown. You know, it's you know what? I don't think, tell the truth, I don't think the European man's going to change. When I say I'm not painting all of them, but it seems like those that are in power, they're not going to, or not even those in power. There's certain because the ones that are criticizing the young.
I was going to lead into this. Obviously,
it's like a breed, a certain breed of them. It's like the same breed, like the Trump mentality. You know, have you googled the alligator prisons?
The alligator prisons?
Yeah.
What is that?
Crocodile or alligator? Sure, it's alligator prison in America.
No, I don't know that one.
With the ICE people, it's an organization that goes around and arrests so-called arrested foreigners.
Yeah.
When they arrest the foreigners, they send them to these to a place called call it alligator prison. I'm sure it's the right word.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you look at these prisons, it's like it's a certain wall, a certain section. When you go into the dormitory, it's like it's iron cages, and in each cage there's a bed. So you got all these cages connected to each other, and within each cage is a bed, and that's where they're sending all these people.
Yeah.
And some of these people are like American citizens.
Yeah.
There's one young boy he's about 24. They said they stopped his car, they mashed up in his window, dragged him out of the car, and he was sent to one of those places. And he looked kind of like he's like mixed, not mixed, but he's like Mexican, between Mexican and Spanish. He kind of like Afro curly hair, but he looked like Mexican and Spanish or whatever. But he wasn't black. You know, but
but he's black enough for them.
You know, they rock him up, mash him up, put him in there. But he got released. But he said, "I'm off to work. You know, they didn't want to hear that. And they threw him one of those places.
Yeah. This is why I anticipate that there is going to be some kind of reprisal against all of this.
Yeah.
Eventually, right?
Yeah.
It won't be televised, obviously, right? But it will be happening. And also remember, it's also happening over here in the UK on a regular basis as well, right? They're doing it here as well, right? So
even by kicking people out.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when you said that, it's like, as you know already, that they were kicking people from the Caribbean out of this country, and yet still they're allowing thousands of people come through and make them I don't want to look. People have to survive. But I'm saying to you, this story doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. It's like they're setting people up here for something to be for something
Mm,
crazy to happen. They're setting
yeah.
people up. I'm sure of it because this don't make sense. Because they're even punishing their own people
Hmm. Hmm.
in the meantime, and it
Hmm.
does. Why are you allowing this?
Hmm. Right.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, like I'm just seeing a message here saying that it's horrendous that it's going on all around the world,
Yeah.
right? And this is the reason why I'm very glad that we have this space here as the Blacknificent show, right? To just put this into perspective because we can come and we can venerate all those atrocities that are happening around there, but it's to get
Hmm.
us into a space of where we can link up, communicate with each other, right, and provide a safe space for ourselves and for others as well, right?
And
like
then
like 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 what you were saying, to reach out to that brother, and you reached out to him, right? But obviously, he didn't take up that offering. But it doesn't mean that the next person won't. You
hmm
understand, right? And it could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be even your neighbor. You know, all them things there. So in that way, there, right? At least you are in a safe space, right? Because you never know. You never know what could happen. Right?
Look, it's like you said. People, I feel say, like I said, people are just like we're living in a fake society, man.
Mm,
It's very superficial, and they're promoting a lot of these young women to like get a fake bottom,
mm.
get fake breasts,
Oh.
get fake hips, fake lips, fake this. I had a stream, a YouTube short popped up,
Mm,
and this that woman was in her 70s and she had a facelift, and her face just she just looked people. And I read the comments. I said, are these people for real?
mm,
She looked mash up.
mm,
All right, her face looked like her face just looked tight.
mm,
Yeah, there was no wrinkles, but okay, right, you got a nice smooth face here.
mm.
But then when you take off the clothes, it's
Everything
mad.
dropped down.
It's like it's just gone. It's just mad. I'm sorry for the younger generation. It's called alligator Alcatraz. Yeah,
Alligator Alcatraz. Okay,
yeah.
I'll have
You
a, I'll
type
have a
that in
look
and
at
type
that
in
one.
even type in images. It
Mm.
just looks mad. You know,
But
and
watch it now. You see what's
Trump man
happening.
is evil.
It's almost like a concentration camp they're putting them into, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Uh,
That's right. Modern
and
day concentration camp. Yeah.
right. And the thing is that even if they put them into these spaces, right, which has been an ongoing thing anyway, right? Because it's not like they just bring those places up overnight. But I was reading and some notes last strong
Hmm.
about this ICE thing, that inland security,
Yes, yes, yes.
right? That they have over there, and they're saying that is now more powerful than the police because of the
It's
amount
like
of
Gestapo, you know.
the amount of people that they've got working in their ICE, right? They've got more people in there, and obviously they've diverted a lot of money, right? Literally, I think, what was it? If I'll give you a figure, say they had like 20 million behind ICE before, right?
Hmm.
Now they've got like 2 billion,
You know,
right?
these people are like. You remember the Gestapo?
Mm.
And they would just
I
go
was
through
giving,
the
I was
suburb
giving
and
that,
people's houses
I
and
was doing
kick
that,
up the door.
I was saying that comparison, right? But just like the Jamaican Defense Force,
Okay.
right? It's they don't have that power, but they have the power like citizens arrests and things like this there, And obviously when they go in, they go in like they're ready to tear somebody's head off already, you know. I see they did take down a judge the other day, right? They took down a judge the other day, and you had to go through protocol and everything to get released.
Okay, I didn't see
Yeah.
that. I didn't see that.
Hmm.
But yeah, one last thing is like it's funny. Yeah, call it conspiracy, but it's funny. As soon as the reparations movement is about to
Hmm.
come into process, the main website gets attacked.
Oh yes.
You
Oh
know,
yes.
so that just shows because sometimes even me myself, I said, "Chama, we ain't doing this, and we should do this, and we should." Sometimes I call up and I say that,
Hmm.
yeah. But that this just proves to you, even though you're trying to you buy the engine, you put the engine in, you
Hmm.
get the steering wheel, you wash down the car wheels, you clean the windows, you wake up in the morning,
Hmm.
somebody took off the wheels, or took off two wheels, and they bust the window,
I know
and they
them
broke
things
up
there.
the
Yeah.
steering wheel,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then
Somebody.
and
There's
then you
always. There's
repair it, and
always.
they cut. Look at back in the days when people were just having radio stations, just playing music that we can relate to. Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I
Hmm.
listened to some pop music back in the day. I
Hmm.
listened to some pop music, you know,
Hmm.
but on the whole, yeah, music that really like moves you and
Hmm.
that you can relate to it with a message.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are those are the people who were playing those music on certain radio stations. We're getting cut down.
Of course.
We're
Of
getting
course.
chopped down. They
But the
they
thing is, remember,
steal
remember,
the equipment. You
remember,
know.
right? And I'm gonna give a little bit of history and everything on this, right? Obviously, everybody knows through the spiritual revival, and then take another step back through the slave insurrections. Our messages of society's injustice were always given through our music, our art,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Why? Because we were restricted to talk about it in an open manner,
Hmm.
right? Not everybody can come and talk like how we talking,
True.
right? Because even now, today, if I go to Africa and some regions in Africa, amongst people who look like me, I'll be arrested.
Or killed.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You understand, right? And even if they go back and look on YouTube, find me on there, I might have to answer questions, right? Did you say this? What did you mean by that? Da, 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 da. You understand? So that's why even what I'm saying here, right? And I got another message. We have to be careful what we say on this medium, right? But even
It's true,
even
but it is true though. It's true. It's got to be wise, man.
yeah,
It's
because
not that you're scared,
no, no,
but
no,
you
no,
need to
no, 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 and this is just it. I stand true on my own convictions, right? And I'm saying things within what I would live, right? If I ask or suggest anything to others, it's always going to be in the peace and harmony living way, right? I'm not telling you to go out there and unalive anybody. Yeah, I'm not telling you to go out there and arm yourself. You understand? But I have heard it on other platforms. I have heard
you
it.
know those kind of people is just reckless, man. And
No, no, but
I
they're
would say
white.
anybody
They're
that
they're
that
they're,
would
they're, they're white.
call up
So they
and
can
speak
they
that
will
kind of
say
way,
this and get
you
away with
you
it.
you, you cut them off or you disassociate with that kind of conversation, man.
Exactly.
Because that's bait.
Yeah.
So, another thing, I don't know if it's true, but I was watching a YouTube page,
Mm.
and the man was talking about new laws coming into England, and he was mentioning. But I tried to like search to see to confirm it. I couldn't find anything. But he's talking about like the Bitcoin laws. People are gonna have they're gonna set in laws where you can't be anonymous to Bitcoins anymore. You're gonna
Hmm.
have to identify yourself,
Yeah.
so they would know your name and they would know your address.
Hmm.
There's talking about new laws of like where people like just protest, even silent protesting, and like they like laws of where people can they say the police can arrest you, like
Hmm.
if you're obstructing the public or making too much noise in the public. It's just they're setting some, but these laws are being set like quietly, just like same like in America when they talk about Trump is a madman and he's crazy. No, no, not. And the thing is, again, we get mistaken by the man that we see. It's the people that are behind him. You know,
Yes. Yes.
we don't know who they are.
Yes. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
One of the things that I'm still waiting for us to recognize, and I'm glad you brought it up. You're probably one of the first that has brought this up, right? It's not Trump alone, right? It's not Stammer alone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
There's a whole industry behind
yes,
all of that,
yes,
right? That is pushing and everything. He's just the person at the steering wheel.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah? It's not him come up with the idea, oh yes, right. Today we're gonna do this and today we're gonna do that and let's do this and that. It's not him. You think Trump know about all of them things there? You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. But he will chat foolishness and people will follow him.
yeah, yeah.
You understand? I wish
It,
I was the one who's chatting foolishness. I tell you now, because those prisons would be empty overnight.
but you know something, I really feel, is, I don't know if this it can work, but I feel that this music thing of these young youths here is
Mhm.
mashing them up. Because I got to log in
Okay,
yesterday,
in what way? In what way do you
today,
say
and
that? I'm gonna give you a couple of
in my
minutes because
website.
you know how all this program run. Go on. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Go on. Tell me
Yeah,
in
so
what way.
I seen that, and like and when I logged in here, the story on the left hand side,
Mm.
it's about some young youths,
Mm.
five youths who killed these two young men,
Okay.
and they were in a music video, and so they made a music, they made a
Mm.
video, and a song, and in the song they mentioned two youths who they killed.
Okay.
I'm saying so I'm saying as a people, yeah, if
Yeah.
we, and they weren't all black though.
Mm.
The five men that were masked up, they weren't all black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, two of them look a bit Arabic, the other one looked European.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but these young youths is like this suicidal music, man.
Mm-hmm.
Suicidal. But yeah, that's all I really call up just to talk about the young lady in the football
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Daniel Du Bois, who
Mm.
I
We
thought
can
like
talk. We
the
can talk
crowd were
about
being
that another.
supporting.
We can talk about the music and relating to societal problems on another time. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, that's what I want to call up. And big up to the station,
Yes.
management, cleaners, technicians, everything.
Thank you so much, my brother.
All right.
Thank you so
Respect.
much. There you go. Works in actions. Works in actions right there, sir. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you. This is what Galaxy, the only de-brainwashing station, is about. We tackle some subjects. Thank you. Thank you. We tackle some subjects that many of us, right, are teetering around. They're teetering around. But let's make some sense out of this nonsense that's happening right now. Because we can't be pushed into a corner of non engagement. But let the engagement be of a positive nature in that way, Dessa. Let it be of a positive nature, right? And as I said, when we engage and we talk, send messages, right? Send a message, but we try to make sense out of the nonsense what's going on out there. And it's not to say that all your messages are going to be nonsense or they're going to be or something we can dismiss, right? Our youngs, I'm going to emphasize on the young people because it's their holiday time now and a very precious time that we have with them because it's not too often that we have this extended time with our young people. So let's make the best of this and the most of this. Yeah. So when we see our youngs, try to engage with them. Allow them. Let's have a listening where they are, who they are. Let's guide them. Let's guide them as well. Right? Don't let them just go off and be whoever, whatever, wherever. Yeah, because there will be somebody out there fishing and catching them up with something else. And we don't need to have any more of our youngs unalived right now. If we can prevent this, if we can prevent it. Anyhow, without further ado, let's go into this strong's midday meditation right here, live on the Galaxy Net. Ay, 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 ay. Right, let me see if I can get my listing up here now. Um, where were we? Where were we? Oh yes, oh yes. Let's do that. Hold on. Yes. Where are you? I've got it here somewhere. Here we are. And here we are. Right. How many have I there? Oh, okay. Gosh. You never know, say you have so much. You never know you have so much, Hey, yes, me talking away to myself, really. I'm talking away to myself, yeah. Anyway, anyhow, let's do this one. I know there was a tune that I wanted to start off with, but we can leave that one to later on still. Anyhow, my family, honor. There you go. Ah, you know, it didn't work. Didn't work that time. Okay, there you go. The midday meditation is a time that we can take for ourselves to do our internal check-ins, right? Whether it be the health, do the relaxations, practices, the stretching, even stretching as well. We can do those as well. Just reflection within ourselves and for ourselves, right? So, without further ado, let's go into this strong's meditation here on the Blacknificent Show on galaxyafori.net. Oh, what's going on? Hold on. You didn't want to listen to me. Now that I set you free, you're walking in misery. Yeah. Don't come running to me. Don't you gonna people? Try to show you the way. Don't listen to me. Don't think you are hurting. I don't know what's going on here. Just a moment, my people. Something's gone on, something here. Why is it doing this to me now? I don't know why I do this to me now. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna kick it off again. I'm gonna restart the whole thing because it must, for some reason, it switched off. It switched off itself. For some
Every day, every day. This is Galaxy. I can read that. Coming up again. Did you miss that? Did you miss that? African cover.
president of the OAU. On this video, his acceptance speech appears and is recited. This is indeed a momentous and historic day for Africa and for all Africans. We stand today on this stage of world affairs before the audience of world opinion. We have come together to assert our role in the direction of world affairs and to discharge our duty to the great continent whose 250 million people we lead. Africa is today at mid-course, in transition from the Africa of yesterday to the Africa of tomorrow. Even as we stand here, we move from the past into the future. The task on which we have embarked, the making of Africa, will not wait. We must act to shape and mold the future and leave our imprint on events as they slip past into history. We seek at this meeting to determine whether we go and to chart the course of our destiny. It is no less important that we know whence we came. An awareness of our past is essential to the establishment of our personality and our identity as Africans. The world was not created piecemeal. Africa was born no later and no earlier than any other geographical area on this globe. Africans no more and no less than other men possess all human attributes, talents and deficiencies, virtues and faults. Thousands of years ago, civilizations flourished in Africa, which suffered not at all by comparison with those of other continents. In those centuries, Africans were politically free and economically independent. Their social patterns were their own, and their cultures were truly indigenous. The obscurity which enshrouds the centuries which elapsed between those earliest days and the rediscovery of Africa is gradually being dispersed. What is certain is that those long years Africans were born, lived, and died. Men on other parts of this earth occupied themselves with their own concerns and, in their conceit, proclaimed that the world began and ended at their horizons. All unknown to them, Africans developed in its own pattern, growing in its own life, and in the 19th century, finally re-emerged into the world's consciousness. The events of the past 150 years require no extended recitation from us. The period of colonialism into which we were plunged culminated with our continent fettered and bound, with our once proud and free peoples reduced to humiliation and slavery, with Africa's terrain crosshatched and checkerboarded by artificial and arbitrary boundaries. Many of us, during those bitter years, were overwhelmed in battle, and those who escaped conquest did so at the cost of desperate resistance and bloodshed. Others were sold into bondage as the price extracted by the colonialists for the protection which they extended and the possessions of which they disposed. Africa was a physical resource to be exploited, and Africans were chattel to be purchased bodily, or at best, people to be reduced to vassalage and lackeyhood. Africa was the market for the produce of other nations and the source of raw materials with which their factories were fed. Today, Africa has emerged from this dark passage. Our Armageddon has passed. Africa has been reborn and as a free continent, and Africans have been reborn as free men. The blood that was shed and the sufferings that were endured are today Africa's advocate for freedom and unity. Those men who refused to accept the judgment passed upon them by the colonizers, who held unswervingly through the darkest hours to a vision of Africa emancipated from political, economic, and spiritual domination, will be remembered and revered wherever Africans meet. Many of them never set foot on this continent. Others were born and died here. What we may utter today can add little to the heroic struggle of those who, by their example, have shown us how precious are freedom and human dignity, and of how little value is life without them. Their deeds are written in history. Africa's victory, although proclaimed, is not yet total. and areas of resistance still remain. Today, we name as our first great task the final liberating of those Africans still dominated by foreign exploitation and control. With the goal in sight, an unqualified triumph within our grasp, let us now not falter or lag or relax. We must make one final supreme effort. Now, when the struggle grows weary, when so much has been won that the thrilling sense of achievement has brought us near satiation. Our liberty is meaningless unless all Africans are free. Our brothers in Rhodesia, in Mozambique, in Angola, in South Africa, cry out in anguish for our support and assistance. We must urge on their behalf their peaceful accession to independence. We must align and identify ourselves with all aspects of their struggle. It would be betrayal were we to pay only lip service to the cause of their liberation and fail to back our words with action. To them we say, your plea shall not go unheeded. The resources of Africa and of all freedom-loving nations are marshaled in your service. Be of good heart, for your deliverance is at hand. As we renew our vow that all Africa shall be free, let us also resolve that old wounds shall be healed and past scars forgotten. It was thus that Ethiopia treated the invader nearly 25 years ago, and Ethiopians found peace with honor in this course. Memories of past injustice should not divert us from the more pressing business at hand. We must live in peace with our former colonizers, shunning recrimination and bitterness, and forswearing the luxury of vengeance and retaliation, lest the acid of hatred erode our soul and poison our hearts. Let us act as befits the dignity which we claim for ourselves as Africans, proud of our own special qualities, distinctions, and abilities. Our efforts as free men must be to establish new relationships, devoid of any resentment and hostility, restored to our belief and faith in ourselves as individuals, dealing on a basis of equality with other equally free people. Today we look to the future calmly, confidently, and courageously. We look to the vision of an Africa not merely free, but united. In facing these new challenges, we can take comfort and encouragement from the lessons of the past. We know that there are differences among us. Africans enjoy different cultures, distinct values, special attributes, but we also know that unity can be and has been attained among men of the most disparate origins, that differences of race, of religion, of culture, of tradition are no inseparable obstacles over this coming together of peoples. History teaches us that unity is strength and cautions us to submerge and overcome our differences in the quest for common goals, to strive with all our combined strength for the path to true African brotherhood and unity. There are those who claim that African unity is impossible, that the forces that pull us, some in this direction, others in that, are too strong to be overcome. Around us, there is no lack of doubt and pessimism, no absence of critics and criticism. These speak of Africa, of Africa's future, and of her position in the 20th century in sepulchral tones. They predict dissension and disintegration among Africans, and internecine strife and chaos in our continent. Let us confound these and by our deeds disperse them in confusion. There are others whose hopes for Africa are bright, who stand with faces upturned in wonder and awe at the creation of a new and happier life, who have dedicated themselves to its realization and are spurred on by the example of their brothers, to whom they owe the achievements of Africa's past. Let us reward their trust and merit their approval. The road of African unity is already lined with landmarks. The last years are crowded with meetings, with conferences, with declarations and pronouncements. Regional organizations have been established. Local groupings based on common interests, backgrounds, and traditions have been created. But through all that has been said and written and done in these years, there runs a common theme. Unity is the accepted goal. We argue about means. We discuss alternative paths to the same objective. We engage in debates about techniques and tactics. But when semantics are stripped away, there is little argument among us. We are determined to create a union of Africans. In a very real sense, our continent is unmade. It still awaits its creation and its creators. It is our duty and privilege to rouse the slumbering giant of Africa, not to the nationalism of Europe of the 19th century, not to regional consciousness, but to the vision of a single African brotherhood, bending its united efforts towards the achievement of a greater and nobler goal. Above all, we must avoid the pitfalls of tribalism. If we are divided amongst ourselves on tribal lines, we open our doors to foreign intervention and its potentially harmful consequences. The Congo is clear proof of what we say. We should not be led to complacency because of the present ameliorated situation in that country. The Congolese people have suffered untold misery, and the economic growth of the country has been retarded because of tribal strife. But while we agree that the ultimate destiny of this continent lies in political union, we must at the same time recognize that the obstacles to be overcome in its achievement are at once numerous and formidable. Africa's people did not emerge into liberty in uniform conditions. Africans maintain different political systems. Our economies are diverse. Our social orders are rooted in differing cultures and traditions. Furthermore, no clear consensus exists on how and the what of this union. Is it to be informed, federal, confederal, or unitary? Is the sovereignty of individual states to be reduced? And if so, by how much? And in what areas? On these and other questions, there is no agreement. And if we wait for agreed answers, generations hence, matters will be little advanced while the debate still rages. We should therefore not be concerned that the complete union is not attained from one day to the next. The union which we seek can only come gradually, as the day-to-day progress which we achieve carries us slowly but inexorably along this course. We have before us the examples of the USA and the USSR. We must remember how long these required to achieve their union. When a solid foundation is laid, if the mason is able and his materials good, a strong house can be built. Thus, a period of transition is inevitable. Old relations and arrangements may, for a time, linger. Regional organizations may fulfill legitimate functions and needs which cannot yet be otherwise satisfied. But the difference is in this, that we recognize these circumstances for what they are, temporary expedients designed to serve only until we have established the conditions which will bring total African unity within our reach. There is, nevertheless, much that we can do to speed this transition. There are issues on which we stand united and questions on which there is unanimity of opinion. Let us seize on these areas of agreement and exploit them to the fullest. Let us take action now, action which, while taking account of present realities, nonetheless constitute clear and unmistakable progress along the course plotted out for us by destiny. We are all adherents, whatever our internal political systems, of the principles of democratic action. Let us apply these to the unity we seek to create. Let us work out our own programs in all fields, political, economic, social, and military. The opponents of Africa's growth, whose interests would be best served by a divided and balkanized continent, would derive much satisfaction from the unhappy spectacle of 30 or more African states so split, so paralyzed and immobilized by controversies over long-term goals that they are unable to even join their efforts in the short-term measures on which there is no dispute. Let us give neither comfort nor encouragement to these. If we act where we may, in those areas where action is possible, the inner logic of the programs which we adopt will work for us and inevitably impel us still farther in the direction of ultimate union. What we still lack, despite the efforts of past years, is a mechanism which will enable us to speak with one voice when we wish to do so and take the implement decision on African problems when we are so minded. The commentators of 1963 speak, in discussing Africa, of the Monrovia states, the Brazzaville group, the Casablanca powers, of these and many more. Let us put an end to these terms. What we require is a single African organization through which Africa's single voice may be heard, within which Africa's problems may be studied and resolved. We need an organization which will facilitate acceptable solutions to disputes amongst Africans and promote the study and adoption of measures for common defense and programs for cooperation in the economic and social fields. Let us, at this conference, create a single institution to which we will all belong, based on principles to which we all subscribe, confident that in its councils our voices will carry their proper weight, secure in the knowledge that the decisions there will be dictated by Africans and only by Africans, and that they will take full account of all vital African considerations. We are meeting here today to lay the basis for African unity. Let us, here and now, agree upon the basic instrument which will constitute the foundation for the future growth in peace and harmony and oneness of this continent. Let our meeting henceforth proceed from solid accomplishments. Let us not put off to later consideration and study the single act, the one decision which must emerge from this gathering if it is to have real meaning. This conference cannot close without adopting a single African charter. We cannot leave here without having created a single African organization possessed of the attributes we have described. If we fail in this, we will have shirked our responsibilities to Africa and the peoples we lead. If we succeed, then and only then will we have justified our presence here. The organization of which we speak must possess a well-articulated framework, having a permanent headquarters and an adequate secretariat, providing the necessary continuity between meetings of the permanent organs. It must include specialized bodies to work in particular fields of competence assigned to the organization. Unless the political liberty for which Africans have for so long struggled is complemented and bolstered by a corresponding economic and social growth, the breath of life which sustains our freedom may flicker out. In our efforts to improve the standard of life of our people and to flesh out the bones of our independence, we count on the assistance and support of others. But this alone will not suffice, and alone would only perpetuate Africa's dependence on others. A specialized body to facilitate and coordinate continent-wide economic programs and to provide the mechanism for the provision of economic assistance among African nations is thus required. Prompt measures can be taken to increase trade and commerce among us. Africa's mineral wealth is great. We should cooperate in its development. An African development program, which will make provision for the concentration by each nation on those productive activities for which its resources and its geographic and climatic conditions best fit, is needed. We assume that each African nation has its own national development program, and it only remains for us to come together and share our experiences for the proper implementation of a continent-wide plan. Today, travel between African nations and telegraphic and telephonic communications among us are circuitous in the extreme. Road communications between two neighboring states are often difficult or even impossible. It is little wonder that trade among us has remained at a discouragingly low level. These anachronisms are the remnants of a heritage of which we must rid ourselves, the legacy of the century when Africans were isolated from one another. These are vital areas in which efforts must be concentrated. An additional project to be implemented without delay is the creation of an African Development Bank, a proposal to which all our governments have given full support and which has already received intensive study. The meeting of our finance ministers to be held within the coming weeks in Khartoum should transform this proposal into fact. This same meeting could appropriately continue studies already undertaken of the impact upon Africa of existing regional economic groupings and initiate further studies to accelerate the expansion of economic relations among us. The nations of Africa, as true of every continent of the world, will from time to time dispute among themselves. These quarrels must be confined to this continent and quarantined from the contamination of non-African interference. Permanent arrangements must be agreed upon to assist in the peaceful settlement of these disagreements, which, however few they may be, cannot be left to languish and fester. Procedures must be established for the peaceful settlement of disputes, in order that the threat or use of force may no longer endanger the peace of our continent. Steps must be taken to establish an African defense system. Military planning for the security of this continent must be undertaken in common within a collective framework. The responsibility for protecting this continent from armed attacks from abroad is the primary concern of Africans themselves. Provisions must be made for the extension of speedy and effective assistance when any African state is threatened with military aggression. We cannot rely solely on international morality. Africa's control over her own affairs is dependent on the existence of appropriate military arrangements to assure this continent's protection against such threats while guarding our own independence. Africa has come to freedom under the most difficult and trying of circumstances. In no small measure, the handicaps under which we labor derive from the low educational level attained by our people and from the lack of knowledge of their fellow Africans. Education abroad is at best unsatisfactory substitute for education at home. A massive effort must be launched in the educational and cultural field, which will not only raise the level of literacy and provide cadres of skilled and trained technicians requisite to our growth and development, but as well acquaint us with one another. Ethiopia, several years ago, instituted a program of scholarships for students coming from other African lands, which have proved highly rewarding and fruitful, and we urge others to adopt projects of this sort. Serious consideration should be given to the establishment of an African university, sponsored by all African states, where future leaders of Africa will be trained in an atmosphere of continental brotherhood. In this African institution, the supranational aspects of African life would be emphasized, and study would be directed towards the ultimate goal of complete African unity. Ethiopia stands prepared here and now to decide on the site of the university and to fix the financial contributions to be made to it. This is but the merest summary of what can be accomplished. Upon these measures, we are all agreed, and our agreement should now form the basis for our action. Africa has become increasingly influential force in the conduct of world affairs as the combined weight of our collective opinion is brought to focus not only on matters which concern this continent exclusively, but on those pressing problems which occupy the thoughts of all men everywhere. As we have come to know one another better and grown in mutual trust and confidence, it has been possible for us to coordinate our policies and actions and contribute to the successful settlement of pressing and critical world issues. This has not been easy, but coordinated action by all African states on common problems is imperative if our opinions are to be accorded their proper weight. We Africans occupy a different, indeed a unique, position among the nations of this century. Having for so long known oppression, tyranny, and subjugation, who with better right can claim for all the opportunity and the right to live and grow as free men? Ourselves for long decades the victim of injustice, whose voice can be better raised in the demand for justice and right for all. We demand an end to colonialism because domination of one people by another is wrong. We demand an end to nuclear testing and the arms race because these activities, which pose such dreadful threats to man's existence and waste and squander humanity's material heritage, are wrong. We demand an end to racial segregation as an affront to man's dignity, which is wrong. We act in these matters in the right, as a matter of high principle. We act out of the integrity and conviction of our most deep-founded beliefs. If we permit ourselves to be tempted by narrow self-interest and vain ambition, if we barter our beliefs for short-term advantage, who will listen when we claim to speak for conscience, and who will contend that our words deserve to be heeded? We must speak out on major world issues courageously, openly, and honestly, and in blunt terms of right and wrong. If we yield to blandishments or threats, if we compromise when no honorable compromise is possible, our influence will be sadly diminished and our prestige woefully prejudiced and weakened. Let us not deny our ideals or sacrifice our right to stand as the champions of the poor, the ignorant, the oppressed everywhere. The acts by which we live and the attitudes by which we act must be clear beyond question. Principles alone can endow our deeds with force and meaning. Let us be true to what we believe, that our beliefs may serve us and honor us. We reaffirm today in the name of principle and right our opposition to prejudice, wherever and in whatever form it may be found. And particularly do we rededicate ourselves to the eradication of racial discrimination from this continent. We can never rest content with our achievements so long as men in any part of Africa assert on racial grounds their superiority over the least of our brothers. Racial discrimination constitutes a negation of the spiritual and psychological equality which we have fought to achieve, and a denial of the personality and dignity which we have struggled to establish for ourselves as Africans. Our political and economic liberty will be devoid of meaning for so long as the degrading spectacle of South Africa's apartheid continues to haunt our waking hours and to trouble our sleep. We must redouble our efforts to banish this evil from our land. If we persevere, discrimination will one day vanish from the earth. If we use the means available to us, South Africa's apartheid, just like colonialism, will shortly remain only as a memory. If we pool our resources and use them well, this specter will be banished forever. In this effort, as in so many others, we stand united with our Asian friends and brothers. Africa shares with Asia a common background of colonialism, of exploitation, of discrimination, of oppression. At Bandung, African and Asian states dedicated themselves to the liberation of their two continents from foreign domination and affirmed the right of all nations to develop in their own way, free of any external interference. The Bandung Declaration and the principles enunciated at that conference remain today valid for us all. We hope that the leaders of India and China, and in the spirit of Bandung, will find a way to peaceful resolution of the dispute between their two countries. We must speak also of the dangers of the nuclear holocaust, which threatens all that we hold dear and precious, including life itself. Forced to live our daily existence with this foreboding and ominous shadow ever at our side, we cannot lose hope or lapse into despair. The consequence of an uncontrolled nuclear conflict are so dreadful that no sane man can countenance them. There must be an end to testing. A program of progressive disarmament must be agreed upon. Africa must be freed and shielded as a denuclearized zone from the consequences of direct, albeit involuntary, involvement in the nuclear arms race. The negotiations at Geneva, where Nigeria, the United Arab Republic, and Ethiopia are participating, continue, and painfully and laboriously progress is being achieved. We cannot know what portion of the limited advances already realized can be attributed to the increasingly important role being played by the non-aligned nations in these discussions, but we can, surely, derive some small measure of satisfaction from even the few tentative steps taken towards ultimate agreement among the nuclear powers. We remain persuaded that in our efforts to scatter the clouds which rim the horizon of our future, success must come, if only because failure is unthinkable. Patience and grim determination are required, and faith in the guidance of Almighty God. We would not close without making mention of the United Nations. We personally, who have throughout our lifetime been ever guided and inspired by the principle of collective security, would not now propose measures which depart from or are inconsistent with this ideal or with the declarations of the United Nations Charter. It would be foolhardy indeed to abandon a principle which has withstood the test of time and which has proved its inherent value again and again in the past. It would be worse than folly to weaken the one effective world organization which exists today and to which each of us owes so much. It would be sheer recklessness for any of us, for any of us to. The African Charter of which we have spoken is wholly consistent with that of the United Nations. The African organization which we envisage is not intended in any way to replace in our national or international life the position which the United Nations has so diligently earned and so rightfully occupies. Rather, the measures which we propose would complement and round out programs undertaken by United Nations and its specialized agencies, and hopefully render both their activities and ours doubly meaningful and effective. What we seek will multiply many times over the contribution which our joint endeavors may make to the assurance of world peace and the promotion of human well-being and understanding. A century hence, when future generations study the pages of history, seeking to follow and fathom the growth and development of the African continent, what will they find of this conference? Will it be remembered as an occasion on which the leaders of a liberated Africa, acting boldly and with determination, bent events to their will and shaped the future destinies of the peoples? Will this meeting be memorialized for its solid achievements, for the intelligence and maturity which marked the decisions taken here? Or will it be recalled for its failures, for the inability of Africa's leaders to transcend local prejudice and individual differences, for the disappointment and disillusionment which follow in its train? These questions give us all pause. The answers are within our power to dictate. The challenges and opportunities which open before us today are greater than those presented at any time in Africa's millennia of history. The risks and the dangers which confront us are no less great. The immense responsibility which history and circumstance have thrust upon us demand balance and sober reflection. If we succeed in the tasks which lie before us, our names will be remembered and our deeds recalled by those who follow us. If we fail, history will puzzle at our failure and mourn what was lost. We approach the days we who have assembled here may be granted the wisdom the judgment, and the inspiration, which will enable us to maintain our faith with the peoples and the nations which have entrusted their faith to our hands.
Can you read me the Tom story?
Of course, my dear. I'll tell you a story about Sandiata,
Tom's terrible.
a long time ago in the medical land. There was an old priest who spoke a prophecy. He said, a king will be born.
I came with the spirit of Sandiata. I can never be afraid. I came with the energy of Shaka. You go things say you're crazy. I came as the child of my father. I give thanks and praise. And I came with the spiritual armor. May the anointing spray. First of all, make a pour before man proceed. There's a silent war up in DRC. If you're poverty porn and the truth you see, the new Africa was born to fulfill the dream. Can't forget the powers that's instilled in me. I know say there's powers that been showed in me. I told them from bad A to BBC that we the Africans who know what the children need. So fall back, we can kick it on our road. Black man stand up, we're sitting on the throne. Ruling everywhere, yeah, we're killing at the globe. And we're building back a home in a different kind of zone. I came with the spirit of Sandiata. I can never be afraid. I came with the energy of Shaka. You go things say you're crazy. I came as the child of my father. I give thanks and praise. And I came with the spiritual armor. May the anointing spray. You ever know what it feel like. Pretend to be someone else in a real life. You can never be yourself cause it feel like for the sake of the salary you had to put your pride to the side. The cost to have a dream. My CV was written in European. Said I was captured through the Euro lens. Too much baggage being African. We used to pretend to Caribbean. Now I feel it in my soul. Dore mi Burkina Faso. But they will never show or give us the glory. The hunter, the hero, to the lion start telling story. I came with the spiritus on the yatta. I can never be afraid. I came with the energy of Shaka. You go things see ya crave. I came as the child of my father. I give thanks and praise. And I came with the spiritual armor. May the anointing spray. I came with the spiritus on the yatta. I can never be afraid. I came with the energy of Shaka. You go things see ya crave. I came as the child of my father. I give thanks and praise. And I came with the spiritual armor. May the anointing spray.
Welcome to Sona. We are the sons of the new Africa, where the sounds of nature anchor us. From the land of Suya, Okadas, Nkrumah, and Karas. From Sakumono, Ojolegba, Nairobi to Accra's. We sing songs originally narrated by ancestors to create science, ointments, navigations, algebras. We birthed the sojourners, Obasanjo, Nelson, Angelas. We survived oppression, neglect, and adversity. Because we saw opportunity and negotiated advantages. No longer subpar, okay-ish, novice, or amateurs. Black is excellence. African is excellence. We fought against the fires they used to try and burn us. Did they forget that we were children of the sun? So we rose from the ashes, filled with the spirits of the new Africa, where the sounds of nature anchor us. From the stories of naughty and Nancy's to surviving overnights of atrocities. This is Sona. This is honor. Because they came for our sounds. Then they came for our organs. They came for our nature. Then they came for Africa. And now it's time we took it back.
Then they came for our organs. Then they came for our nature. Then they came for Africa. And now it's time to take it back.
Did I let you down? Did I bring your pain? Should I carry you or let the silence reign? 'Cause I saw the storm before the skies went gray. Yes, I knew you were slowly gonna walk away. So I took what's mine, all the stars above. Took your soul into the night with love. It might be done, but it don't end there. I'm still right here if you ever care. You touch me hard, you touch me soul. You change me path, make me spirit whole. And love stay blind, seen that from start. When I gave you blinded heart, I kiss your lips, hide your face, share your bed, miss sacred place. I know your love, I know your side. I've been home, and I won't lie. Goodbye, my love. Goodbye, my friend. You were the one. You were the one till the end. Goodbye, my love. Goodbye, my friend. You were the one. You were the one I defend.
I'm a dreamer when I rise. Can't steal me soul or cloud me sky. So if you leave, just know me name. How we were still burns the flame. I seen you cry, I seen you grin. Watch you sleep, let the night begin. I'd raise your child, I'd walk that road, I'd hold your hand till we grow. I know your fears and you know mine. We had them storms, but we did fine. And I love you, I know it's true. I can't find breath if I lose you. Goodbye, me lover. Goodbye, me friend. You were the one, you were the light in the end. Goodbye, me lover. Goodbye, my friend. You were the one. You were me roots, me still hold your hand, dreams I keep. One day I'll speak so loud. When the leaves follow, I'm so hollow, so hollow, so hollow. Your heart echo in the hollow. Your love